Hi, and welcome to another Level 3 simultaneous equations video. In this video, we're going to go through our first achieved practice test. Now we know in Level 3 we're going to explore simultaneous equations that have 3 equations and 3 unknowns. In this standard, you are required to read a problem, which I like to call our story, create 3 equations that have 3 unknowns, and solve these unknowns to find a solution. Here are the 4 steps I'm going to take you through. Step 1, identify the variables. Step 2, form the 3 equations. Step 3, solve the equations. And Step 4, interpret the solution in context. Right, here's our practice test. A vet wants to make up a mixture bag with 3 different types of dog biscuits: beef, vegetable, and chicken. The mixture bag must contain 1,550 grams of protein, 140 grams of fat, and 310 grams of fibre. Each beef biscuit contains 20 grams of protein, 3 grams of fat, and 4 grams of fibre. Each vegetable biscuit contains 5 grams of protein, 1 gram of fat, and 2 grams of fibre. And each chicken biscuit contains 90 grams of protein, 3 grams of fat, and 13 grams of fibre. So the problem we're going to solve: how much beef, vegetable, and chicken biscuits are required to make up this mixture bag. Let's get into step 1. We're going to identify the variables, and I'm going to use X, Y, and Z. Right, well, we have beef, vegetable, and chicken biscuits. That's the clue to the variables. X is going to be the number of beef biscuits in the mixture bag. Y is the number of vegetable biscuits in the mixture bag. And Z is the number of chicken biscuits in the mixture bag. Now, if you were a little lazy and just said X equals beef biscuits or X equals beef, you're going to get it marked wrong. So you must be more concise and say something like the number of beef biscuits in the mixture bag. Right, let's move on to step 2. This is the trickiest step of this. We're going to form the 3 equations. I've just put up the variables up here to keep us reminded what X, Y, and Z are. All right, here's a hint to each of the equations. So here's equation 1, and let's show you how we got it. There are 20 grams of protein for a beef biscuit, which is why I go 20 times X. There are 5 grams of protein for a vegetable biscuit, so I go 5 times Y. And there are 90 grams of protein in a chicken biscuit, so I go 90 times Z. And altogether, there's 1,550 grams of protein, so I put it equal to 1,550. Right, here is equation 2. Let's go through. Notice I cross these numbers off as I go, because as I cross them off, I don't need to use the numbers again in another equation. So let's get into equation 2. 3 grams of fat for beef, so 3 times X. 1 gram of fat for vegetables, so 1 time, well, most people just put Y. I personally prefer to put 1 times Y, but most people just like to put Y. And 3 grams of fat for chicken, so 3 times Z. And that's all equal to 140, because there's 140 grams of fat altogether. And finally, our last equation is the fibre, so we've got 4X plus 2Y plus 13Z, and that equals a total of 310 grams, because there's 310 grams of fibre altogether. Right, so that's our equation. Probably the trickiest step, step 2, is to form the 3 equations. Notice in this example, we read down the story, down these numbers, to get 1 equation. In other stories, you might have to read across to get 1 equation, but in this example, we had to read down because all these numbers here represented protein. Right, step 3 is to solve the equation, and to do that we use our graphics calculator. We showed you how to do this in video 1, so go back and watch if you need to, but X is 20, Y is 50, Z is 10. So that leaves us with step 4, and that is to interpret the solution in context. Well, all that means is to say a story like there are 20 beef biscuits in the mixture bag, there are 50 vegetable biscuits in the mixture bag, and there are 10 chicken biscuits in the mixture bag. Right, well that's us for this video. So thanks very much for watching. We're going to go through another achieved practice in the next video as well.